Welcome to Cultivating Authentic Universal Energy, exploring energy through mediumship, psychic abilities, Reiki, crystals, and more. This podcast is created based on the concept that everything is energy, everything and everyone are connected. Your hosts are Lisa Miliaresis and Michele Belcastro. Lisa has written about her psychic medium awakening and is comfortable with many facets of energy. Lisa believes energy work is very exciting and should be embraced in a safe way. Michele grew up as a sensitive, intuitive, and now creates a safe space for community to gather and develop their spiritual talents. Their two unique perspectives are joined to assist listeners of all levels to broaden their understanding. This will be a series of podcasts that will enhance and fine-tune our energetic connections.
Hi, Michele.
Good morning, Lisa. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Sitting here in my cluttered home office with a kitty cat in the window helping me hold space.
Yeah, I have a cluttered office too, but I put my little kitty cat out the door because she was all over the place. Your kitty cat's well behaved.
Well, she is at the moment. So we'll see if you see a critter going across, that's why, because she's hanging out here with me. So
I welcome her, welcome all of you who are listening.
Yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about this topic? It's kind of a heavy topic.
Yes. So world events, as they have been in the last week and a half, have been super heavy for, I know, at least the two of us. And what we want to talk about today is the collective energy and how that can impact us on an individual basis.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always air the podcasts at the time that they are happening, so I mean, this week, of course, Israel and Palestine are at war again, and it just puts it into our face that there's a lot of anger in the collective, and injustice, I guess, is the word I could use.
Well, and I think grief.
Grief.
A lot of grief. There's a lot of loss that's happening right now.
It's a lot of shifting. It's a lot of change. Just from the higher perspective, looking at things as they change, but and a lot of the old systems that don't work, a lot of things we have a need for change, but my hope would be a need for a peaceful change. But at any rate, when these things happen, we feel them not only intellectually, but we feel them on emotional level and an energy level. And Michele and I were going to talk a little bit more about that energy that we were feeling. And I'll let you share your experience first, Michele.
Okay. So I was on vacation last week, and it was supposed to be, just downtime. And I realized partway through the week that okay, so I'll say my week started on Saturday. By Monday afternoon, evening time, I started feeling really heavy, really depressed, and really wasn't sure what was going on because I tend to stay away from news and media. As we've talked about before, I am greatly impacted by the visuals and the fear that come along with media. So it wasn't until I decided to do a little bit of digging into the outside world that I realized that a war had started. I came home from my vacation and, you were at the shop on Sunday to do one of your extreme communication events, and you knew immediately something was wrong with me.
Oh, yeah. Your whole aura was like, I could tell.
Yeah, I felt like I really had to close myself down very much so, just to be able to get through the event, because I was and still am on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
And and sitting with it and understanding that I needed to ground myself, that I needed to allow the emotions of grief and the heaviness to pass through me and not to, allow them to hold on, not
Right.
me hold on. That's where, when we've talked about our practices and self-care and self-awareness, this is why it's so important.
Yeah, you do. You do. And didn't you find that your fur baby that you have there with you today, that they're helpful in helping you move through some of these feelings?
They hold space in a way that I don't know that it's possible for another human to hold. Literally, I spent the day yesterday just at home, kind of doing a bunch of journaling and a little bit of meditation. And my Andy, the one that she left, but she was in the window here with me. Um, she literally sat with me the entire day.
Yeah. And you just had to honor that you were feeling the way that you were. And I guess after you realized that it was collective energy, you kind of put it into perspective a little bit more, I imagine.
Absolutely, but you know what? I
Or did you forget to use the tools?
No, I use the tools. It took me a little bit to get to that point. It was like one of those things where, okay, I noticed that I didn't feel quite myself. I wasn't really sure why. Um, but when I really sat with it, it was like, okay, I recognize these feelings. Um, and what can I do about it?
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better today, and we're going to focus on some positivity. I believe that prayer can help. I do think, because a lot of times we feel very helpless that we can't physically do something to help a lot of these people that are at war or people that are in need.
Mhm.
And you can't help somebody when you're in a place of being down or you're a place of being sad yourself. So on Monday, I woke up in a funk as well. I could feel the collective energy. There was just no way of being happy at that moment. So I went to my toolbox. I meditate every morning, but I still was feeling that almost like a thickness or a heaviness on my whole body, like a shroud.
Yep.
And I knew what it was. So I went to yoga class, and it kind of helped me to breathe and move my body and to elevate it up a bit.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I believe in the power of prayer and positive thinking. So I wanted to pray for the people that were affected by this, as we all are affected, but those that are affected physically by it. And I know that I can't, it's not that I can't, is that the energy of prayer I've learned over the years is more impactful if it's done from a place of neutral or better. If it's done from a place of sadness and fear, it doesn't have its power for the punch. And I wanted to make sure that I was at least from a platform of neutral or better. So I needed to raise my vibe before I did something on behalf of these people. So I went to the yoga class, and then I went to a place that's local to us. There's a Archangel Michael shrine in Tarpon Springs, Florida. And I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. And this little place is like a little gold mine because it was built out of prayers and miracles. There's a little story behind it, and I can't do it justice to explain it. But so it is like one of those little magical places that I go when I'm feeling the need, and I do quite often. I'll go there and I'll light a candle and I'll sit there and I'll meditate and I'll pray. And there's a very ancient plaque there of Archangel Michael that they built this whole shrine around. That's supposed to bring forth this energy, but it has a beautiful energy regardless. And I love going there for that reason.
Mhm.
So as I went there and I did feel the vibration of energy, I did uplift, and from that platform, I did offer the prayers. And when I feel like I'm doing something, even as simple as praying, it makes me feel a little bit better that there's an action step involved. So that's what I did on Monday to raise my vibration and to get an action step there. I also believe in Reiki, as you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's times when we hold space. And I don't know if maybe you can explain that better when you hold space in Reiki, but I think it's similar to that with the prayer, where you can hold space for another person. But before I give it to you to explain, I think what I forgot to mention, as I bluffed over this energy thing with prayer, is that over the years I've learned that you can't create for somebody else. You can co-create for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you can offer energy in the form of prayer for someone else. So for when let's say you offer positive prayer for another person, family member, whoever, or a group of people. Whenever they start to feel the hope, or that they pray for hope or faith, that energy goes with them, and it collides, and it helps them along their way. It's kind of like a holding pattern. The
Mm-hmm.
same if you offer it from a place of fear or guilt or anger, it goes against. So, I'd rather go from a place of positive or better to help it in a positive way. So, energy is collective. We feel it collective. We can offer it to be used in a collective. So, that's where I was going at with the action step. And I continue to do that from raising my vibe first and then offering the prayer. But what I was going to ask, if you could possibly explain holding space that we do in Reiki, and I think that's something that I would also do.
So it's interesting because when you mentioned holding space, I was thinking, okay, how do I define this? And part of it is literally being a witness, a non-judgmental witness to what's happening.
Right.
Right.
That's hard.
So it it is very hard. But if we put it in perspective of um, you know, my yoga teaching, my Reiki teaching, I literally hold space in a room for other people to do their work. I help to ground, I help to provide a foundation. I guide as needed, but don't interfere unless I'm asked.
Right.
Right.
So,
So to me, that's holding space for people in
right.
just that non-judgmental witness of.
So that came to my mind of holding space and trying to do that through the prayer, of holding the
Yep.
space for them. And I continue to do that. The other thing that came to my mind was in Eckhart Tolle's book of A New Earth, he talked about frequency holders, which are people that are here and they maybe march to the beat of their own drum. Maybe they don't fit into the society as much, but they're holding a frequency. They're here holding a frequency to help, excuse me, to help everyone adjust and shift. So everybody has a purpose
Yeah.
in this. But
So
you need to honor yourself, really.
yeah. So something else kind of came to my mind as far as things that we can do to increase the vibration of ourselves and for others. Now, any of our practices that we do, you said this already, we can't do it for someone else.
Right.
Right. Now we can help with offering Reiki, we can help by offering prayer, but the people on the receiving end actually are the ones that have, the ability to say yes or no.
Sure.
In my practice, and you have done this as well, back a few years ago when our friend was in a really bad car accident, we built a Reiki charged crystal grid and we put her picture in the center. Remember that?
Yes.
So the idea with that is you charge the grid, and it does not matter honestly, what this grid looks like, how you construct it. I almost always will just follow my intuition on constructing a crystal grid. But the idea is that it's infused with Reiki. And if you're not Reiki attuned, it's infused with your love, with your support. And the idea is that you sit with it every day to continue to infuse it. And the crystals continue to vibrate with that infusion out into the world.
Oh, can we do this now for the world? Can we do it for world peace? Can we
We
do that?
absolutely, we can.
Can I come over to your store this afternoon and we can put it together?
Absolutely, we can. I will be there at noon.
I want to do this. Yes.
I think
That,
that's a great idea.
and you know what I did when we did that for our friend is I took a picture of it, and of course electronics and things. I took a picture of it and I put it on a notification on my phone so it would pop up every day to remind me to set that prayer. So
Nice.
I want to do that.
I think that is an amazing tool. And to take that even a step further, if that doesn't resonate with someone, you can still do something like that. If there were a particular flag, I'm thinking, and I'm not taking sides, right? But the flag of Israel or some other symbol, um, if you chose to do the same thing, put a notification on your phone with that picture that you were sending prayers.
Right. I think I would like to use the world, like a picture of the globe, um,
Uh,
because it's not just Israel, Palestine, and Ukraine and Russia. It's the movement of people that are leaving their countries because they're looking for a place they can live safely. There's
mhm.
a disconnect happening for years and years. And, as we spoke before, and the systems are falling apart. And I'm still hopeful, and I believe in our youth, and I believe in that things are changing crazily right now for
Mhm.
better future because this is the old paradigm is going away and the
Yeah.
new to come up. So
Yeah.
heavy words, but it's just
Mhm.
I think it's all good. And I was picking cards as you were talking.
Thank you. Please share.
I got Leap of Faith was the
Okay.
first card that I picked. And it says, I'm ready to take a deep leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. So we always call in our angels to do any of this work that we do.
Mhm.
The other one was healthy choices and speak your truth.
Okay.
Choices, of course, we try to make the healthy choices of honoring yourself and trying to put ease in your heart and in your experience. And speak your truth is what we do.
Okay. Those are beautiful, and I'm glad that you shared those. Um, so I kind of want to get back to, we've got this collective energy that we feel on an individual basis. Um, and we're lucky enough that we have a community that we can share with. You know, there's a group of us that can come together and choose to come together to help one another through whatever it is that they're going through. Sometimes, like yesterday, you and I were supposed to meet up and record this yesterday, and I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
And I had to make the decision for my own well-being to say, hey, listen, I'm really sorry. I can't do this today. And that was a really difficult decision for me because I take my commitments seriously, and I want everyone to know that you have the choice to choose you first.
Yeah.
I I think this is starting to get a little bit overused, but the whole idea of you put your oxygen mask on first and then you help others, but it's true. If we can take care of ourselves, then we can help support and hold space for others.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, you should do that. And some people have a tendency to feel guilty because they're taking care of themselves first. Don't feel guilty about it.
I'm working through that.
I mean,
So
such a
yesterday was a huge win for me.
and I didn't mind. So we mixed it up a bit. We made it work.
We totally did.
8 o'clock in the morning, but we made it work.
Uh-huh. And at least I have some clothes on.
Yes.
All right, so it's important, I think, for all of us to have some kind of a community where we can come together and be able to express what's happening with all of us. You know, and a community can just be a friend, a trusted friend that is going to hold space and be non-judgmental.
Right.
It's super important for us to use all the different tools that we have in our toolbox for our self-care, for our self-awareness, all of that. I joke around and I poke at you all the time because you have a very structured self-care practice, but in times like this, that's what helps keep you well balanced and, you know, helpful. Well, some of us, guilty right here, find that we've been knocked off our axis and need to, you know, find our way back. Now, I also say that from a place of trying not to be judgmental with myself. Being an empath and being a sensitive, I am learning every single day. Every day is a new situation for me to pull my tools out and use them.
Yeah.
And if this isn't validation enough, the sun is coming up and you can start at seeing it shine on me through the trees.
Nice.
So even quite literally, right? Every day is a new day that allows me as, you know, an evolving individual to pull my tools out and walk my walk, not just be a talking head saying, this is what you should do. I'm being forced, because I don't always do this nicely or gracefully, to actually walk my walk.
Well, if you don't, you're going to get thrown on your butt through your energy.
Definitely.
So, so there's like, and I think a lot of people they can relate to that because they feel it as well.
Yeah.
They just feel it. And we just talk about it. But even when you have a ritual of self-care with the not medication, the meditation. Maybe it is meditation. I have to check in with myself to make sure that it's not just a routine and it falls through inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you follow your inspiration, that's your higher self is guiding you and helping you to find what's right for you that day, not just going down to meditate at 6:37 in the morning because it's your time. Although my cat does help me get onto the schedule because she'll get me up and take me there. So it's kind of like you do it, and then you also check in to see where does the inspiration for the day.
Yeah.
But then I pick cards at the same time to help that inspiration. But needless to say, it's been very helpful to have the different things that will allow me to go neutral or better during tough times. And it
Yeah.
takes and don't be upset with yourself if it takes you a day, a week to get to that place.
True. So I wanted to offer one other thought that as I sat for meditation this morning on my front porch in the dark, with my cats,
Isn't that
is yeah, is Ho'oponopono,
Mhm.
the four graces. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. Um, if nothing else, it's a beautiful mantra to help process some of what is going on. There's so much more behind it, and we've kind of touched on it a couple of times, but that is another beautiful tool that can help with raising your vibration by offering love and forgiveness and gratitude to self and the whole world.
I can't agree with you more. That's one of my favorite practices. And it's so easy to do. And you understand that you're cleaning up within yourself what you're feeling outside, then it helps the outside as well, the inside outside.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other thoughts?
I have many good wishes for everybody. And just be the best that you can be. And
One day at a time.
share a smile with somebody if it helps them. When you give a smile, it just helps them. And maybe what I'll do is a lovely lady named Elsie Kearns shared this on Facebook, but it was I drew on it, but it's peaceful quotes. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just read some of these peaceful quotes.
Okay, thank you.
You cannot shake hands with a clenched fist. And that was from Indira Gandhi. Peace begins with a smile, and that was Mother Teresa. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding, and that was Albert Einstein. Nobody can bring you peace but yourself, and that was Ralph Waldo Emerson. I'll leave you with that one. No one can bring you peace but yourself.
Nice. All right. So sorry about the heavy topic, but I think it was one that we really needed to chat about. And this is
We're going to make it this afternoon.
Yes, absolutely. I will see you later then.
God bless you all.
Bye. Thank you for listening. We'd love to hear from you about your experiences. Leave us a comment below. You can find more information about Lisa and her offerings on her website, 2communicate.net. Michelle's shop is the Violet Butterfly Metaphysical Healing Center in Palm Harbor, Florida. You can find more information at thevioletbutterflymhc.com, including the online store.